All right, we're starting to cut videos today. I just got through cutting one for a pasta sauce. It was the most delicious pasta sauce I've had in about a year, right? And anyhow, what I'm cutting this video for now for you folks over at KW Advantage is because tomorrow, after Pete's Forums, I'm going to go ahead and bring in this new fire of knowledge that I've got running through my head right now. We're going to talk about negotiations, right? In my world, there are certain things that just make me chuckle. I mean, you guess I'm going to get into it, all right? So I got the very beginning portion of the investor attitude session. Pete will come in. He's going to stay over from his forms class, and he's going to talk a little bit about wholesaling, some best practices on how to not get yourself in not cold water back there, but hot water. You want to stay out of the hot water, right? And I actually also just noticed that Autumn has got Rick Linnell coming in and talking about some of the legal ramifications if you do not fill out the seller's disclosures properly. Um, yeah, I think our goal as agents, we want to stay out of hot water. So here's how we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to have some of the experts come in and share, right? So Pete is going to be there for the first half of the session that I'm putting on tomorrow, on Friday, right after. It's like at noon, I think that's when the class is at. Now, also, I'm going to come off of probably what I'm told is probably one of the most disgusting wholesale houses that. This is what the person that's bringing the deal to me, she's like, oh, it's disgusting. We'll see about that. But I tend to share about what my experience is from that house. We're going to talk about negotiations. And then furthermore, we're going to talk about market statistics on foreclosures. All right? People are starting to hear the chatter. All right? Some of the talking heads are like, the economy's going to crash. I've got an interesting perspective that I'm going to share with you folks. And I'm open for a dialogue tomorrow, okay? Actually, let me get you a teaser on that, all right? At the RIA, the Michigan Real Estate Investor Club, I was on a wholesale panel, and the question was asked, is the market going to crash? Well, I don't know. I don't got that crystal ball, and I'm not speculating. What I can do is I can track the numbers, okay? Let's look at the numbers. We've got an uptick over the past 3 months of foreclosures that are hitting the state of Michigan. Now, it has not beat my threshold of 1,000 foreclosures in total, so I'm not too concerned, but we are watching the trends. Also, going back to the interest rates in the 1970s, I'm like, what? One ditch to the next, right? Interest rates, 1970s. Think about high interest rates, 13 to 15%. What was the median price of a house here in Michigan in 1980? Which is when the interest rates were 13%. Well, it was like $60,000. Okay, something to keep in mind here. Okay, how much interest is brought to the banks? Okay, when you're dealing with $60,000. Now, granted, 15%, 13-15% is a lot of money, a lot of interest on $60,000 though. Fast forward present day, we're pushing 5.5% in some cases. Looking at average sales price, what, $250,000? Okay, I would argue that there's, and I've not done the amortization sheets, but I will. I'll come to the table with that. I think that you're paying way more interest at 6% on that bigger total, right? So that's how the inflation game is going to get you. Furthermore, we're going to talk a little bit about the market shifting. What's going to cause the market to shift? All right, high interest rates. I don't know. Americans have a spending problem, and with all the talk of going 40-year mortgages, is there potential of maybe just keeping that payment low? Like, it's almost boating season. I talked about this a while back. If you go to a boat dealer, they don't just offer financing for 5 years. They offer it for 12. So you can afford that payment, right? We're a debt-ridden society. That's what the government understands, and they're going to keep feeding our addiction. Okay, so think about that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about rental rates. Okay, what do I believe is the real indicator for a market shift? The rental rates. And I'll elaborate on that tomorrow at the class. So if you're interested in attending, just show up. show up. It's at the Keller Williams in Novi, and it's at like 8 and 275. If you're not an agent over at that office and you're interested in, gathering some of that mindset, give me a call, and we can talk about getting you access to that. Right? Anyhow, Dean Gazowski, 3D Property Solutions. I'm excited to share with you folks tomorrow. I think I might go for a dip.